Hi, I'm Tristan Levitt. If you're new here, I want to share a little bit about who I am, where I came from, and why I do the work I do. I've always loved being around other people because I grew up the oldest of 7 children, with lots of cousins and extended family around. We were lower middle class, so money was tight, and my parents often had to make difficult financial choices. For example, we never had health insurance, so my dad could always make sure our taxes were paid. That left me with a deep belief that government has a duty to be as scrupulous as possible with our hard-earned tax dollars. Although they couldn't pass down wealth, I'll be forever grateful my parents passed on to me their values, teaching me God's love for all his children, as well as the importance of integrity and choosing what's right, even when it's hard. My mom always encouraged me to look out for others and to be compassionate. She also passed on to me a strong dislike of bullies. After her mom divorced her alcoholic dad, my mom raised her 9 siblings while her mom went to work. Many of those siblings struggled with mental illness and addiction, and 3 of them ultimately committed suicide, 2 in my adulthood. Life is precious and can be so fragile, so I try to never take for granted the challenges someone may be going through. The biggest lesson I learned from my dad was hard work. He attended 1 year of college before having to drop out when I was born, so he supported our family through the back-breaking work of hanging sheetrock and finishing drywall. As soon as I was old enough, I did it with him every summer and eventually after school when I could drive. Both of my parents encouraged me to obtain higher education they never got the chance to. So when I finished high school, I became the first person on either side of my family to attend college, other than my dad. Having spent so many summers talking politics with him, I decided to study political science. After taking 2 years off to serve an unpaid mission for my church, I resumed working my way through college with a job training new missionaries. There, I met my wife, Brittany, who had also just come home from an 18-month mission. She got me to volunteer at a juvenile detention center, just so I could spend more time with her. And we bonded over our shared commitment to our faith, to always rooting for the underdog, and to helping those who haven't had a fair shake in life. We were babies ourselves when we got married, but we started our family very early. As we've raised our 5 children, we've tried to pass those values of faith and service on to them. Over the years, Brittany mostly stayed home to do the incredibly hard work of raising our children, although she also perfected a mean chocolate chip cookie from her great-grandma Nellie's cookbook. But once our youngest started elementary school, Brittany modeled what we taught our kids about standing up for the defenseless when she became an advocate for victims of crime, such as domestic violence. Both my family and my faith taught me a significant reverence for the United States Constitution and how it protects individual rights. That was a big motivator for me going to law school. When I graduated, I got hired to do congressional investigations. It was the best crash course I could ever have imagined in the Constitution's checks and balances between branches of government. Exposing waste, fraud, and corruption in the federal government was the perfect job for me. Patriotic whistleblowers helped us expose some of the biggest scandals of the decade. My 8 years working for Congress led me to 6 years leading federal agencies tasked with protecting whistleblowers who expose problems in government and ensuring accountability for misconduct among federal employees. For the last 3 years, I've served as president of a nonprofit, Empower Oversight, that provides legal representation to help whistleblowers avoid unfair and illegal retaliation just for trying to do the right thing. That work and my service in the legislature basically focus on the same passion of mine, finding problems in government so it can be more transparent, more accountable, and more worthy of the public's trust. I ran for office so that instead of just exposing problems, I can play more of a role in fixing them. Helping everyday families and keeping our children and grandchildren in West Virginia requires our best efforts, given so many long-standing challenges in our state. So I've gravitated towards tackling some of the biggest problems we face, like strengthening foster care, improving our workforce participation, and figuring out how to help more West Virginians have access to clean drinking water. Those involve deeply rooted issues and don't have easy solutions. But I'm firmly committed to rolling up my sleeves and putting in the hard work to figure them out so we can improve the quality of life for all West Virginians. That's who I am and why I'm here. I've been taught that public service is about something bigger than politics. It's about caring for others, serving our neighbors, solving problems, and leaving things better than we found them. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you'll join me in this mission. Because for anyone willing to do the work, there's always hope for a better tomorrow.